Today, we come together to mourn and celebrate the remarkable life of a true Hollywood icon. Charles Robert Redford Jr. born on August 18, 1936, and passing away on September 16, 2025, Redford left behind a legacy that transcends the silver screen. He was more than just an actor. He was a director, producer, activist, and visionary whose influence shaped not only the world of film but also the cultural and social fabric of America. His passing marks the end of an era, and the emotional tributes pouring in from around the globe remind us of the immeasurable impact he had on so many lives. Early life and roots. Charles Robert Redford Jr. was born in Santa Monica, California, to Charles Robert Redford Sr. and Martha W. Hart. Growing up during the Great Depression and World War II, Redford's early life was shaped by resilience and hard work. His father worked as a milkman and later as an accountant, while his mother was a homemaker who supported his creativity. Redford was raised with strong values and a deep sense of responsibility. As a young boy, Redford developed an interest in drawing and sports. He was particularly skilled at baseball, but it was his artistic side that truly distinguished him. Despite facing personal struggles, including the tragic loss of his mother when he was just 18, Redford channeled his emotions into creativity. He studied at the University of Colorado on a baseball scholarship, but left due to struggles with alcoholism during his youth. However, his journey took him to Europe, where he studied painting in Paris and then pursued dramatic arts in London, planting the seeds for his eventual acting career. Breaking into Hollywood. Redford's acting career began in the late 1950s, with television appearances on shows such as Maverick, The Twilight Zone, and Alfred Hitchcock presents. His good looks, charisma, and raw talent quickly caught the attention of casting directors. In 1962, he made his Broadway debut in Sunday in New York, and by 1963, he had his breakout role in Neil Simon's Barefoot in the Park. His transition to film was seamless. Redford's early films, including Inside Daisy Clover, 1965, and This Property is Condemned, 1966, showcased his versatility. But it was his role alongside Paul Newman in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, 1969, that catapulted him to superstardom. His portrayal of the Sundance Kid established him as one of Hollywood's most bankable stars, and his partnership with Newman became legendary. A golden era of stardom. The 1970s and 1980s marked Redford's reign as one of Hollywood's leading men. Films like Jeremiah Johnson, 1972, The Candidate, 1972, and The Way We Were, 1973, solidified his reputation not just as a handsome star but as a serious actor capable of depth and nuance. His chemistry with Barbra Streisand in The Way We Were became one of cinema's most iconic love stories. Then came The Sting, 1973, another collaboration with Paul Newman. The film won the Academy Award for Best Picture and remains one of the greatest classics in Hollywood history. Redford's ability to balance charm, wit, and complexity made him a household name. Throughout his career, he refused to be boxed into stereotypical roles. In All the President's Men, 1976, he played journalist Bob Woodward, capturing the essence of investigative reporting during the Watergate scandal. His choice of roles reflected his deep interest in politics, social justice, and storytelling that resonated beyond entertainment. Transition to directing and producing. While Redford's acting career flourished, he was also drawn to the creative power of directing and producing. In 1980, he directed his first film, Ordinary People, a heart-wrenching family drama that won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director for Redford. This achievement established him as one of the few stars who successfully transitioned behind the camera. Over the years, he directed and produced several acclaimed films, including A River Runs Through It, 1992, which introduced audiences to a young Brad Pitt, and Quiz Show, 1994, a critical exploration of ethics and corruption in media. His directing style was marked by sensitivity, authenticity, and an ability to bring out nuanced performances from his actors. Founder of the Sundance Institute. Perhaps one of Redford's most enduring contributions to the film industry was the creation of the Sundance Institute in 1981. The institute nurtured independent filmmakers, giving them a platform to showcase their creativity outside the constraints of mainstream Hollywood. The Sundance Film Festival became the largest and most influential independent film festival in the United States, launching the careers of countless filmmakers, writers, and actors. Through Sundance, Redford championed voices that might otherwise have been silenced, promoting diversity, experimentation, and artistic freedom. Today, Sundance remains synonymous with innovation and courage in cinema, a legacy directly tied to Redford's vision. Awards and honors. Over his lifetime, Redford earned an extraordinary array of accolades. He won an Academy Award for Best Director for Ordinary People and received an Academy Honorary Award in 2002 for his contributions to cinema. He also received a BAFTA Award, 5 Golden Globe Awards, including the prestigious Cecil B. DeMille Award in 1994, and the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award in 1996. His influence extended beyond film. In 2005, he was honored with the Kennedy Center Honors, recognizing his cultural impact. In 2016, President Barack Obama awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, one of the highest civilian honors in the United States. In 2019, he received the Honorary César Award in France, highlighting his global influence. These awards were not just symbols of recognition. They were testaments to a lifetime dedicated to artistry, integrity, and vision. Personal life. Redford's personal life was marked by both joy and tragedy. He married Lola Van Wagenen in 1958, with whom he had 4 children. Tragically, his first son, Scott, died in infancy, a loss that profoundly shaped Redford's outlook on life. His marriage to Lola ended in 1985, but the two remained on respectful terms. In 2009, Redford married Sibylle Sagers, a German painter, with whom he shared his later years. Together, they pursued artistic projects, blending their love for the environment, culture, and creativity. Despite his fame, Redford valued his privacy. He often retreated to his home in Sundance, Utah, where he found peace in nature, painting, and family. He was a dedicated father and grandfather, always seeking balance between his public persona and private life. Environmental advocacy and activism. Beyond cinema, Redford was a lifelong environmentalist and activist. He used his platform to advocate for climate change awareness, renewable energy, and the protection of natural landscapes. His environmental work was deeply personal. He believed in preserving the planet for future generations. He also stood firmly for social justice, speaking out on political issues when it was unpopular for actors to do so. Redford used his celebrity not just for personal gain but to elevate conversations that mattered, about equality, fairness, and the preservation of democracy. The final years and passing. In 2018, Redford announced his retirement from acting after his final performance in The Old Man and the Gun. Though he later clarified he might continue working behind the scenes, it marked the end of a legendary acting career. Even in retirement, he remained a respected figure, guiding Sundance and supporting emerging artists. On September 16, 2025, the world lost Charles Robert Redford Jr. at the age of 89. His passing was met with a wave of emotional tributes from fellow actors, directors, politicians, and fans. Robert De Niro praised him as a beacon of artistic integrity, while Barbra Streisand called him a beautiful soul and a rare gentleman. From Hollywood to Sundance, from the White House to film schools worldwide, his influence was acknowledged and celebrated. Robert Redford's legacy is not confined to his iconic roles or the awards on his shelf. His true legacy lies in the opportunities he created for others, the independent voices he nurtured, and the cultural conversations he inspired. He embodied what it meant to be a storyteller, one who could entertain, challenge, and transform audiences. His life reminds us that greatness is not just measured in fame but in the impact we leave behind. Redford's commitment to authenticity, creativity, and humanity makes him a timeless figure whose work will inspire generations to come. As we mourn his passing, we also celebrate the incredible journey of a man who gave the world so much beauty. Fans across the world remember his piercing blue eyes, his effortless charm, and the way his characters seemed to live beyond the screen. Fellow actors call him a mentor, directors praise his vision, and audiences cherish the memories he created. Redford once said, "The story is the most important thing. If you get the story right, everything else follows." His story was one of brilliance, resilience, and vision. And today, his story lives on in the films he made, the filmmakers he inspired, and the causes he championed. Charles Robert Redford Jr. was more than a movie star. He was a symbol of excellence, a guardian of independent cinema, and a voice for justice and the environment. Though he has left this world, his light will continue to shine through the stories he told and the lives he touched. May we remember him not only with sorrow for his passing but with gratitude for the beauty he gave us. Thank you, Robert Redford, for a lifetime of inspiration. And to all our viewers, if you were moved by this tribute to one of Hollywood's greatest legends, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more stories celebrating the lives of iconic figures who changed the world.